Hello, Dave Shroder back again with your roundup of the UK boxing scene on Weighing In with Travis Hartman. Only really one card in the UK this week. Boxer, the promotional group Boxer, seemed to have stumbled across some sort of hotbed of boxing fandom in a small town in the south of England called Bournemouth. Not many people, no real fighters have ever been from there before, but there is the current WBO cruiserweight champion of the world and friend of the show, Chris Billam-Smith. And he headlined a card in Bournemouth, sellout. It was raucous, really loud atmosphere. Everyone was loving it. The main fight on the undercard was the Olympic silver medalist at light heavyweight, Ben Whittaker. He fought an Italian a guy fighting out of Italy. I think he was actually Albanian or Slovakian. He's Eastern European, but he's fighting out of Italy. And it was a great fight. It was really good to watch. Whittaker was 4-0 before this. Really not been tested. He'd had some injuries, but he was showboating his way through this fight, and it was incredible. It was a really strong performance from him. He caught his opponent, whose name was Dreadage. He caught him in the second, dropped him to his knee, but instead of going for the kill, was really showboating. It was insane to see. He was talking to the crowd. He was walking around the ring. He wasn't looking at his opponent at all, and just the guy was throwing shots and just getting caught on the way in constantly. The ref spoke to him in the fourth round and said, like, this is the line, you're over the top of it, you need to stop, fight properly. And then he just immediately knocked him out. It was a very, very heavy knockout. Fortunately, the opponent, Dreadages, was fine, needed a bit of oxygen, was up and about, but nowhere near a stiff enough test for Whittaker at this stage now. He's going to have to move up a little bit. He's clearly very talented. You don't get an Olympic silver medal without being a strong boxer and a really good fighter, and he clearly has a lot of power as well at the weight. That was fantastic. That was the fight before the main event, but the main event saw friend of the show, Chris Billam-Smith, and someone that Travis has interviewed before and spoken to on the show, defend and make the first defence of his WBO cruiserweight title, which he won against Lawrence Okoli in an absolute snooze fest of a fight, a hugging match. Interesting fight. He fought against a Polish opponent, Mastanek, who lost like 4 or 5 times previously. Bit of a journeyman, to be honest, 36, 37 years old. Tough guy, really tough guy. I was scoring the fight and I was texting Trav during the fight, and he was the Pole was winning every round as far as I could see. CBS, Chris Billam-Smith looked like he was gassed really early. It looked like he'd taken some shots early and was really struggling. I'd listened to interviews with him in the week, and he said it was one of the best camps he'd ever had. So I don't think it was that. I just think he got caught. Maybe it was a tougher fight than he expected. He was losing every round. As we got to the 7th, he started to get a little bit more success, was closing the distance a bit, was landing some good body shots, but he was taking quite a few to land one. Landed 1 or 2 good shots to the ribs. End of the round, everything seemed fine. The Polish guy, Mastanek, doesn't come out for the 8th, saying he's broken his ribs, can't breathe, couldn't stand up, didn't come out. So Chris Billam-Smith retains, and still the WBO cruiserweight champion of the world. And I mean, was it a great performance? I don't know that you could say that, but he won. That's the most important thing, against a tough, durable guy who was really the last throw of the dice for a world title for Mastanek. Where he goes from here, there's a mandatory that's going to be ordered by the WBO this week. And there's cruiserweight's a good weight in the UK. There's a number of good UK fights out there, and I believe there is also a vacant belt. I think the WBA belt at cruiserweight is vacant as well at the moment. So there's options for him. He's got a contractually mandated rematch with Lawrence Okoli as well. So he's going to have to fight again pretty soon. Hopefully it can be a bit more of an impressive performance than what he put on tonight. But that really was the main card and the main events in the UK this week. It's sort of tailing off a bit as we get towards Christmas. There are cards next week, which I'll go over in preparation for, as I said last week, the big great day on the 23rd of December, where there's an awful lot of British fighters fighting. So I hope you all have a great week, and I'll keep watching and keep you updated on what's going on the other side of the Atlantic. I'll speak to you next week on Weighing In with Travis Hartman.